Right. I will explain the form, income tax return form, right? So this is the form used to pay the income tax. Here you can find section 1, statement of tax calculation, part A, income liabilities to tax. So as we discussed earlier, there are 4 different types of income, source of income. Number 1, employment income, business income, investment income, other income. So total of these 4 different income equal assessable income, right? Assessable income. So we have discussed there are many adjustments, and from today onwards we will discuss about these areas: relief and qualifying payments. So under employment income, business income, investment income, each and everything is explained in schedule 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, these are the schedules. Schedule 1, it's about employment income of an individual. Here, so type of income, and here if there are any other thing, relief, 700,000. And this is business income, where we can find allowable expenditure, not allowable expenditure, that sort of things. And here investment income, right? So we have studied all the adjustments. So it's mean we have discussed how to calculate assessable income. Assessable income means the total of employment income, business income, investment income, and other income, right? Today's session is computation of assessable income. Computation of assessable income. Here, computation of this one. Computation of assessable income. Simply, we can say assessable income equal total income plus business income plus investment income plus other income. So that's what is explained here. Assessable income of a person. The assessable income of a person is total of employment income, business income, investment income, and other income. So this is the formula. Assessable income equal employment income plus business income plus investment income and other income. Right. Now we move to computation of taxable income. Here taxable income, computation of taxable income. So up to now we have studied how to calculate this one, how to fill up to this cage. From now onwards, we will study how to calculate and fill this cage number 140, how to fill, right? For that we have to discuss about relief and qualifying payment. Under relief, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reliefs. Relief for employment income, relief for foreign service income, relief for rent income, relief for interest income, that is senior citizens only, relief for personal relief, right? And that is equal 500,000. So total of these 5 equal total relief. And also we have to discuss about qualifying payment, and then we will reach taxable income. Taxable income simply means assessable income minus deductions, and relief and qualifying payment equal taxable income, right? Taxable income equal assessable income minus relief and qualifying payment. Qualifying payment and relief for a person and an entity. It is explained by section 52. Right. First, we will discuss about qualifying payment. qualifying payments. The qualifying payment are as follows. Number one, a donation, right? A donation made by an individual or entity in money to an approved charitable institutions, right? You have to be very careful about that. Here, the donation made by an individual entity in money, right? In money. You have to pay, you have to make the donation in money, right? You have to give money, right? That donation only will be considered under qualifying payment. For example, there is a institute, charitable institute, which keeps orphans and elderly people in the institute. So you are a kind-hearted person and you are giving clothes, right? You are giving anchor milk powder. You are giving furnitures, not in terms of money. So if you do so, these donations cannot be considered as qualifying payment. It is not considered as qualifying payment because you are not make the donation in terms of money. Again, uh, the charitable institution means number one, charitable institution established for the provision of institutionalized care for sick or needy people. So there are many organizations in our society, charitable institutions, right, which established for different purposes, say funeral society, school development society, right, and education development society. So there are many different kinds of societies, so which cannot be considered as an approved charity, which are not considered as an approved charity, right? Approved charity mean it should provide institutional care for sick or needy people. Sick people mean so disabled people, special need people, right? And elder, there are some organizations they are keeping people, right? Those who are very sick, they are sick people or needy people, and declared by the minister as an approved charitable institutions. So the institution should be listed and should be an approved one under the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance. It should be gazetted one, right? Right. I repeat again. A donation made by an individual or entity in money, right? Important term, money, to an approved charitable institution, that is charitable institution established for the provision of institutional care for sick or needy people. Again, we need uh, important words: the sick, institutional care for sick and needy people. And second, declared by minister as an approved charitable institution for the purpose. Right? This is about A. It's A means a donation in terms of money for an approved charity. Second type of donation is it is to the government, right? It's here a donation made by an individual or entity in money or otherwise to the following, right? So the section B, right? Section A will consider only money, donation in terms of money, but section B considered both money or otherwise. So you can provide money or milk powder, furniture, houses, land, whatsoever. It can be considered as a qualifying payment. To whom? So the section A is talk about charitable institution, but section B is talk about donation to the government of Sri Lanka. Donation to the government of Sri Lanka. Right? If you contribute the COVID-19 fund established by the President of Sri Lanka, that is a qualifying payment. Local authority. Local authority means Pradesh Sabha, Municipal Council, Pradesh Sabha, Urban Council. So that if you give a donation in terms of money or in other ways, that can be considered as a donation. qualifying payment. Third, any higher education institution established or deemed to be established under the University Act. And if you give donation to universities, state universities, that also can be considered as an donation, qualifying payment. Number 4, the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka, or any higher educational institution established by or under the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka, Act number 74 of 1981, and a fund established by the government of Sri Lanka. So if you give donation in terms of money or otherwise, that can be treated as qualifying payment. And again, number 6, a fund established by local authority and approved by the Ministry of Finance. And the 7A fund, a fund established by a provincial council and approved by the minister. And the number 9, Api Venuvan Api Fund, Api Venuvan Api Fund, and National Kidney Fund. So if you give donation in terms of money or otherwise, which are treated as a qualifying payment. Qualifying payment. You can deduct that expenses, that donation from your assessable income. Then your tax liability can be reduced. Third one, a profit remitted to the President's Fund by public corporation as required by the law by or under which such corporation is established. Right. Now we will discuss. So what is the limit? What is the maximum limit of deduction as qualifying payment? Right. Conditions in applying qualifying payment. So far under the qualifying payment, we have discussed two types of donations. Number 1, donation to approved charities. Donation to approved charities. So we have to keep in mind that donations should be in money, not otherwise. Approved charity, right? So for an individual, so the maximum limit is 1/3 of taxable income or 75,000. 1/3 of taxable income or 75,000. In case of entity like company, it is 1/5 of taxable income or 500,000. So for your exam purpose, we are considering only individual. So you don't worry about at this moment about entity, right? For individual, 1/3 of taxable income or 75,000. And part B, donation to the government, right? Government or prescribed institutions in money or otherwise, 100%. There is no limit for the donations. For approved charity, maximum 75,000 or 1/3 of taxable income. So whichever is lower. So here we can take 75,000. Keep it in your mind. Most of the times, the maximum amount will be 75,000. For the section B, donation to the government and such list, so 100% donation, 100% is allowed. Right. Now we have talked about this one, qualifying payment, right? Qualifying payment, section 5, schedule 5. Here, schedule 5 is talk about qualifying payment of individual, right? Here, to an approved charity, right? To an approved charity. Number 2, to the government, right? Here, to the approved charity, deductible amount limited to 1/3 of taxable income or 75,000 or amount donated, whichever is lower, right? You have to compare 3 values. Number 1, 1/3 of taxable income or 75,000 or actual amount of donation. And you compare 3 amount and you have to choose the lower value. lower amount. And to the government, 100% allowed. So therefore, there's no limit for that deduction, right? Right. Now we will discuss about reliefs, right? We already talked about qualifying payment. Now we are going to talk about relief. Under the relief, there are 5 things. Relief for employment income, that is 700,000. Relief for foreign service income. Relief for rent income. So yesterday we have talked about this. Relief for rent income is 25% of total rent. 25% of total rent. And relief for income interest income for senior citizens, that is equal up to 1.5 million. 1.5 million is applicable. And personal relief, it's equal 500,000. Relief as follows. Number 1, rupees 500,000 for each year of assessment for the individual who is not a trustee, receiver, executor or liquidator. That is, the trustee, receivers, executives or liquidators are not entitled for this relief. Therefore, this 500,000 relief is applicable for individual, right? And also, further, this relief is not applicable to deduct against the gain from realization of investment assets. So this relief cannot be deducted against capital gains, right? So we can deduct this 500,000 from income from employment, income from business, income from other investment also okay, but we have to exclude capital gains here for this case, not this, yeah, for this case. Personal relief, personal relief, how much personal relief? Any answers? Personal relief, how much? We can put here. You can answer in chat box. You can post your answer in chat box, please. How much? Personal relief. Aruni, how much personal relief? Personal relief equal to 500,000. Personal relief equal 500,000. Then second, if an individual has employment income, good. Aruni answered as 500,000, good. If an individual has employment income, he is entitled to a sum of 700,000 up to the total of such individual's income from employment for this year. Here, this one, relief for employment income equal 700,000. So if any person having employment income, right? If any person having employment income, he is liable to deduct as relief for employment income maximum 700,000. How much? 700,000. So personal relief is 500,000. Relief for employment income is 700,000, right? Right. And right, if an individual has employment income, he is entitled to a sum of rupees 700,000 up to the total of such individual's income for the employment for the year, right? Some of you are post that some students are unable to uh, connect to the lecture, right? Anyhow, I will upload the recording of today's session, right? I will upload today's recording. In case of individual, right? In case of individual with rental income, right? So in the case of individual with rental income from an investment asset, an amount equal to 25% of total rent income for the year of assessment, being a relief for the repair, maintenance, and depreciation relating to the investment asset. But this amount shall only be allowed to the extent no deduction or cost is claimed for any actual expenditure incurred by the taxpayer for the repair, maintenance, and depreciation of the investment asset. Right. As we discussed earlier, if the person is not claimed as an expense against the rental income, he is able to get 25% of total rental income uh, under the relief. Here the relief for rent income. How much? 25% of total rent income. 25% of total rent income. And D, in the case of individual who is a senior citizen, senior citizen means who? A resident age 60 years of 60 years old, a resident 60 years old or above. Interest income derived from a financial institution 1.5 million for each year of assessment up to the total of the individual's interest income for the year, right? So relief for interest income for senior citizens, maximum, how much maximum? 1.5 million, 1.5 million, right? And in case of resident individual, in case of resident individual or partner of a partnership who has earned income in foreign currency in Sri Lanka from any service rendered in outside Sri Lanka to any person to be utilized outside Sri Lanka up to the total income rupees 15 million for each year of assessment.